Hello and welcome back to another video. In this problem, we are looking for which of the following expressions is equivalent to f of x over g of x, where f of x is x cubed minus 9x, so we have that, over g of x, which is x squared minus 2x minus 3. So the first thing we can do is in the numerator, we can pull out an x out of both terms. So if we take an x out of x cubed, we're left with x squared, and if we take, or subtracting, if we take an x out of 9x, we're left with 9, right? And if you were to redistribute the x back in, you get x times x cubed is, or x times x squared is x cubed, and x times negative 9 is negative 9x. Then down here, we have a quadratic trinomial, right? Highest power is a 2, 3 terms, that's what that means. And we are going to factor it where we have x plus some number times x plus another number. And we know that these multiples, or that these numbers, have to multiply to negative 3, right? When you're doing the FOIL method, right? The last is that number times that number, and it has to multiply to negative 3. So for one number times another number to be negative, one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. Why? Well, if you have them both positive, then the positive number times the positive number is just another positive number. If they're both negative, then a negative number times a negative number, the negatives cancel out and you still have a positive number. The only way for them to multiply to a negative number is one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. So we know that they have to multiply to negative 3. So what are our options? Well, 3 is a prime number, so its only factors are 1 and 3, right? 1 in itself. So we have 1 and 3, and then we can put negative 1, we can put the negative on 1, and we put the negative on 3, right? It's really just which one do you want? You want 1 here and 3 here, or 3 here and 1 here, right? Well, how do we find which one we have? Well, we know not only do they have to multiply to negative 3, which both of these do, they have to add to negative 2. So if we add these, we have negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2, and here we have 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. And again, we're looking for negative 2, so we want 1 and negative 3. So we have x plus, and then the positive one is 1, then x minus, the negative one we're looking for is negative 3. Okay, now our last step before we can simplify is we have to convert this into a similar thing, right? Where we have x times x plus something times x minus something. And we can't do it with the way we just did because we don't have a trinomial, we just have these two terms. You have to recognize that this is the difference of two squares. So we have here, we have x squared minus 3 squared, right? 9 is 3 squared. You have to remember the pattern that this is equal to x plus 3 times x minus 3. So when you have one thing squared minus another thing squared, that's equal to the two things added up times the two things subtracted. So we have x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 1 over x, or times x minus 3. And now we can simply cancel x minus 3 and x minus 3, just get rid of them. And the problem here normally would be that you can't get rid of this without saying, okay, x minus 3 can't be equal to 0, therefore x can't be equal to 3, right, because we can't divide by 0. And that normally would be a problem, but we're looking at this for x is greater than 3. So this doesn't even have to be a consideration. We're not even thinking about the possibility that x is 3. So what we're left with is x times x plus 3 over x plus 1. You can't simplify this any further, so this is going to be your final answer, and this lines up with D. As always, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.